with you today. Today I want to point out something about your 2020 taxes that could cause a little bit of problem with your tax return, and so it's kind of alarmed me the way my tax software has handled it, and so I want to make sure that you're making sure that you know the way your tax software is handling it as well. And that is the way the 2020 stimulus payments are recorded. So let's get into it. You'll see our marketing disclaimer, educational disclaimer, and then let's talk about what a recovery rebate credit is. Okay, this is on line 69 of the 1040, which is on the second page. And in 2020, there were two economic impact payments or stimulus payments sent out by the government. One was for $1,200 for most people. The other was $600. Now, there could have been some limitations on that, but those were the general amounts for the majority of American adults. You should have got both those. Now, the $600 may have come in 2021, but it's still considered a 2020 stimulus payment. So you need to make sure that you got both of those. Now let's look at what happens. What is an economic rebate credit? The economic rebate, the recovery rebate credit is designed to give those people that did not receive their stimulus payments a stimulus payment at the time that they filed their tax returns. Okay, so if you've already received a stimulus payment, both your stimulus payments, there should not be anything on this recovery rebate credit line on line 69. Okay. So if you received both stimulus payments and you've got something on that line, your return is incorrect, and you're going to get a refund that is larger than what it should be, which is going to result in the IRS asking for the money back plus interest. Okay. If you did not get your stimulus payments, then there should be something on this line. And so the thing that bothers me is that my tax software, which is UltraTax, made by Thomson Reuters, and I considered UltraTax to be probably the best tax software made. It's made for tax preparers, and it makes the assumption that if you don't tell the software that you received your economic stimulus payments, then it's automatically going to give you that recovery rebate credit. And so if you fail to record your stimulus payments in the tax return using UltraTax, and you got them, and it gives you that recovery rebate credit, well, then you've gotten too much in your refund, and the IRS is going to ask for it back. So that's the problem that I see. Now, I'm not sure how other tax software handles it, so you need to be aware of how your tax software handles these things. Because look at line 69. If you've got something there, well, then you need to question whether it should be there or not. Because if it is there and it's, you received your stimulus payments, the IRS is going to ask for it back, and they're going to ask for it back with interest, usually. So look at that. Now, in UltraTax, this is where you would put your payments that you received in 2020. So they have a little spot here, and it's kind of hard to find, even for tax preparers. This is a software for tax preparers, and it's kind of difficult to find, but it's got your economic income payment 1, and it's got your economic impact payment 2 on here. And you see it's got both taxpayer and joint, and if you've got it for the kids, you would put the amount for the kids in there as well. Because the return is going to calculate, using UltraTax anyway, the amount that you should have gotten based on the number of children that you have and the number in the family and your income. And if it's different than what you've entered in here, there's going to be you're either going to get no recovery rebate credit or you're going to get some. Okay. And so you need to make sure that you put what you received in these boxes. Now, you're probably using TaxAct or using TaxSlayer or TurboTax or some other tax software, and it's going to be a little bit different. So, but it should have an input form like this that allows you to input the stimulus payments that you received. And so make sure you're putting that in. Make sure you find that and you put that in. And your tax software is going to do one or two things. It's going to either assume that you did not get your stimulus payment and it's going to give it to you, or it's going to assume that you got your stimulus payment and it's not going to give it to you. And so you need to make sure which way your tax software is actually working, and then act appropriately. And certainly if your tax software is assuming that you did not get your stimulus payments, then you need to tell it that you did get your stimulus payments so that it doesn't over-refund you an amount that you're going to have to pay back. On the other hand, if you did not get your stimulus payments, you need to make sure that line 69 has got that recovery rebate in there if you deserve it, so that you get it at the time that you file your tax return. So that's the problem that I see so far, and I think a lot of people, unfortunately, are going to probably end up getting a bigger refund than what they should, because they're not aware that they have to tell the software that they got those stimulus payments. And if that's the case, what's going to happen is you're going to get a letter from the IRS a couple of months after you file your tax return saying, hey, you shouldn't have got this and we want our money back, and by the way, we want interest on it as well. Okay, so short video today, but that's what it's all about. It is something that you should be aware of, and something pretty serious about your 2020 tax return. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're interested in being a tax preparer, go out to the videocpa.com, and there's a free course out there that you can take at that link. And if you're interested in more data on tax information, more information, we've got courses out at the Video CPA's Targeted Tax Training, and that is also at www.thevideocpa.com. All right, thank you again for watching. I'll be back with you next week.